have made a suicide pact. Ladies and gentlemen, this is HolyJoe Rock and Roll coming at you, reporting to you live from Singapore at the tail end of the North Korean-American summit here. President Trump is just in the middle or concluding a press conference where he's answering questions about the summit, and we're understanding that so far things are looking good. Now, just for those people who are historical buffs or history buffs, this machine is running slow. Anyhow, Dennis Rodman. I made fun of Dennis Rodman 5 years ago when he went to meet with Kim Jong-un and had a relationship with him. But Dennis Rodman was on CNN, very emotional, because he claims that Kim was ready for this type of negotiation 5 years ago when he met with him, when Dennis Rodman met with the North Korean dictator. He came back to the United States, and Dennis Rodman said that Obama ignored him. And as you may recall, the mainstream media just went hog wild on Dennis Rodman, called him all kinds of names, made fun of him. And there was no alternative media back then. So basically, all you had was... Is that working? Yeah, all you had was the mainstream media, which was heavily influenced most people, right? You know, Dennis Rodman with the tattoos and the nose piercing, and, you know, how he played basketball wearing a dress and all this crazy stuff, was really a freak. And you can understand why he was sort of maybe not taken seriously. But he did come to Obama, who was, by the way, awarded the Nobel Peace Prize before he even became president, and he did nothing but wage war, especially across the Middle East, right? Toppling Libya, toppling Ukraine, toppling Syria, or trying to topple Syria, definitely toppling Egypt in the Arab Spring, right? So now Trump, who doesn't have a magic wand, he just is not controlled by the deep state, is able to, in very short order, meet with the dictator of North Korea and negotiate what looks like, at least on paper, the complete denuclearization of the Korean Peninsula. And this is from a guy who never was a politician, right? And how the media said, you need months to plan this, you need months to prepare for this, you need this, are you people awake? Are you people awake? Are you listening? And how effed up the mainstream media is, how effed up the political class has been for the last 30, 40, even more years, right? That they have basically allowed this military-industrial complex to continue in infinitum, right? By not trying to solve these problems. Trump has said many times, this problem should have been solved 10 years ago, 20 years ago, 25 years ago, right? And Trump makes it look easy because he's just that good at negotiating deals. Now, of course, time will tell, right? We'll see if there's going to be a flip-flop by the North Koreans, which they have done in the past. But it does not look like Kim Un-young is planning to do that. It looks like the president, the leader of North Korea, wants to make peace. Trump has said that they also signed an agreement to bring back any remains of U.S. service members that might still be in the country from POWs or those that were killed in action, so that American families can have closure, and that Kim Un-young is going to immediately get to work continuing to demolish and disassemble his nuclear missile, nuclear weapons capability. So this is really exciting news. This is really amazing, right? In terms of historical, it's a historical moment that Trump, not a politician, comes into office, they said that, what did the media say? That Trump was going to blow up the world over North Korea, right? Get into a nuclear tit for tat with North Korea. And just the opposite happens, right? They've been wrong on everything. They've never read The Art of the Deal. They've never read The Art of the Deal. Okay, people? Read the book. Okay, you can get it as a PDF. I believe it is available even on the torrents if you don't want to pay for it. But it's in your public library. It should be in your public library. It's been out since, I think, 1983 or 1982. Or something like that. It's been out for a long time. Maybe 1986, something around there. Mid-80s, I believe. Yeah, it's been out there. So get a copy of it, read it, and it's going to be helpful in your life, I think, in general. Still very, very valid points there in terms of negotiating, and this art of the deal, baby. So this looks promising. And if it does conclude as we think it will, very positively, it'll be positive for everybody, not only in that region, but for the world. And there is now talks, Trump said in his press conference, for reunification and also for U.S. troops to be pulled out, that this is part of Trump's plan. We got, like he said, 34,000 troops in country, and he'd like to pull them out. So I think we're on the right track here, and this is looking really good for, should the President, Trump, get the Nobel Peace Prize? I mean, if anybody should get the Nobel Peace Prize for actually doing stuff to encourage peace in the world, I would think that Trump's actions here certainly outweigh the non-action, in fact, the aggression of Barack Hussein Obama. Now, if anybody has any questions about this, just think about what did Obama do. And he basically did nothing but bring on further destruction of the United States. A guy, for instance, who said he was against same-sex marriage, under his tutelage, Supreme Court made same-sex marriage the law, overriding some 32 or 34 states. Whenever they had a referendum, they always upheld, the people always upheld marriage as that between a man and a woman. One man, one woman. That is the definition of marriage. But the Supreme Court overrode that, just like they did abortion, overrode the people's desire to not allow abortion. So Obama was a tool for the globalists. You can clearly see that. He was a tool for the globalists. Trump is not. But let's see what happens as we go forward, as we approach the elections here in 2018. I do believe that there will not be a blue wave. There will be a red wave. The only blue wave you're going to see is in the toilet bowl when you flush it. All right? This has been Holy Joe Rock and Roll, coming at you live and unscripted. This is a really historic event in world history. Trump is making history, bringing peace and denuclearization to the North Korean peninsula. Listen, like Trump, remember to make it happen for the captain, because you're the captain. And we know it's a lie. We know